Hi Aries, welcome to your weekly love reading. What's going on this week for you in terms of love? High Priestess and the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel as though Divine Masculine may be burying themselves in work. High Priestess, I feel like there's been this is what I'm hearing from Spirit, and this is what I'm feeling. Divine Feminine, you've been like happy in a connection. Maybe you subconsciously kind of placed this connection in a safe kind of box. Maybe you created a comfort zone around this, and it is because you felt so much love and joy from the connection that it kind of sparked these deep fears based on the past kind of thing. But within that space, like Divine Feminine, I feel like I'm hearing from Spirit that you subconsciously created a comfort zone so that you could explore these feelings from a safe sanctuary, okay? You could open your heart from a safe sanctuary, because you would have felt too unstable or emotionally all over the place. A lot of triggers would have come up if you had fully like opened your heart and worn your heart on your sleeve right from the start when it comes to your Divine Masculine. Okay, and so I feel as though Divine Masculine has interpreted that distance you created, like that safe distance, so you could fully open your heart from that safe space, but they have interpreted you creating that distance as you pushing them away. But it wasn't. It was subconsciously you creating a comfort zone for that moment in order for you to safely open your heart and sort of test the waters in this connection. Maybe you needed time to see if Divine Masculine's feelings were true, or whether it was just some sort of initial attraction that was going to fizzle out or something. So Divine Feminine, you created a comfort zone or some sort of distance where you could open your heart and feel all this love and feel all this joy, and this is everything you've been feeling for Divine Masculine. So from this place of total bliss and like this heaven on earth feelings, from this safe space, so you could really feel the love rather than being distracted by the mind if you were too much out of your comfort zone. I feel like in that place of bliss, you haven't realized that Divine Masculine was feeling rejected. This is very interesting. This is like maybe they're burying themselves in work. I'm seeing this doorway here, like this is them in their workspace, and there's a doorway here, but they've put like a sort of barrier over the door kind of thing. I do feel like Divine Masculine is now needing, it's like it's kind of reflecting now, like Divine Masculine is the one that now needs like this safe kind of comfort zone for them to explore their feelings, because they're now feeling a bit too exposed, okay? Because maybe they feel rejected because Divine Feminine created a comfort zone unintentionally and unknowingly, so she could feel her emotions deeply. But Divine Masculine, it's very interesting. They've put this barrier over the door. It's still open a little bit, you know. They're still feeling this deep love for Divine Feminine, but they need this processing time. They may feel a bit too exposed right now, okay? There may be some misunderstandings and those fears, those wounds, fears of rejection and abandonment have come up within Divine Masculine, okay? And so now they may have retreated a little bit, but this is really being mirrored between you both, okay? Because this is the 8, that's that infinity symbol, and it's a mirror, and we have, this is number 2, so this is a divine partnership, but there's 2 2s in this Robin Wood deck, and so that is saying you're both mirroring each other. It's like the two swans. You both feel the same way. Could be twin flame divine love connection. If you turn one of the twos around, it's like love. It's like a heart, I mean. But it's like one has turned away, and so it's still this heart, but with one sort of turned away right now because they need to. And this is where that acceptance card has come in. I feel like divine feminine, you were subconsciously bottling up your feelings, but now they're coming out more. Okay, and it's like you didn't realize that you were bottling it up. You didn't realize that you were holding back. And then I feel like divine masculine, they felt like that's been a rejection, or they felt like you distanced yourself and you're not feeling much emotion because you haven't expressed it recently as much as you were at some stage. But now you're coming out more, you're being brave more. It seems ironic, but I'm hearing this is how it's divinely designed. Like you were the one that was in the comfort zone, and that was allowing you to feel your emotions, and the other one was wearing their heart on their sleeve more. But now it's kind of flip-flopped because you're the 8, you're mirrors, okay? So now it's the turn for divine masculine to go inwards and withdraw and have that safe void, going into that safe void. And that is causing divine feminine to feel more comfortable right now in opening up and expressing truth, because divine feminine didn't realize divine masculine was feeling rejected. It was happening on a subconscious level, okay? But this flip-flop of what's going on is like making divine feminine now realize as well. And this is how you're helping each other come out of your comfort zones. You're helping each other express more, open your heart more, to help the other understand, kind of thing. And then, but this is a time where divine masculine is really needing to be in this void space, be within self. It may feel like they're in the man or the woman cave, okay? But this is where they are healing. They're feeling more nurtured, they're feeling more safe, and this is like that safe space where they can really grow. And when they feel that sense of growth and reassurance and love from the divine again, and love from divine feminine, then they can, when they feel like the time is right, they can come out again and really be open again, okay? So please don't like be angry or resentful or feel like divine masculine is rejecting you. This is the divine process, okay? And it's meant to trigger your mind and fears at certain times in order to be worked through, so they're not just stuck in the subconscious. This connection will make you go through these emotions, so they come up from your subconscious, or they come up from your past into your present moment, and then you work through them, and then you heal and release them to open your hearts more as time goes on. So let's look at some more oracle cards. We're starting off with the Oracle of the 7 Energies. Yeah, I do feel like divine feminine, there was this fear of you expressing your emotions. So it has been taken, divine masculine felt that you were pulling away. And so they've mirrored that back to you, because they feel like you were losing interest, or you didn't feel the same way about them. But it's not true. The power of purpose. So yeah, I'm seeing this as a confirmation of what I was just saying. Like there's a purpose, there's a divine purpose to this, to help you both heal these wounds and creating these comfort zones where you can initially open your heart more, and then you come out of the comfort zone as there's this deeper understanding, okay? But I feel like it was getting a bit too much, like mentally, emotionally, thoughts, feelings for Divine Masculine, and so they've needed to retreat for a while to find balance again. And you know, these two cards of balance came out for re-establishing balance. But yeah, this is like the arrows on the bullseye. There's a powerful purpose to what's happening here. Clarity is coming back. I feel like a lot of fears have come up in the past few weeks, a few months. A lot of turbulence. There was like a wave of turbulence that was making one of you feel a bit neglected, but it's because so much turbulence was going on in the mind, so much shifts, so much changes, that there was a lot of thinking and trying to understand things in the mind about a lot of things. It could have been to do with your connection, it could have been to do with other things, that takes you out of that heart space where you and this person are like in this incubator, like a baby growing. You're like these babies, it's like your soul growth. You're in this incubator, and you can really tap into that. You can really feel that love, that nurturing, that warmth of that when you are able to sink into the heart space. Okay, but there's been a lot of turbulence, intentionally, like intentional turbulence from the divine perspective, in order to clear out a lot of stuff. So this is a very, very intense connection. So what you feel for this person, they feel for you at the core. Anything else, if you're feeling disconnected from this person, or if you're feeling it's unrequited, that's just the mind. That's just like the blockages in the mind, the conditioning, the fears, that all kind of getting in the way, and then we fall into the mind, and then you're feeling like this person is withdrawn from you because they don't love you. But it's not that, it's just their thoughts, fears, everything that's designed to come up. We fall into it's like a magnet. You fall into thinking a lot, you fall into the mind and those thoughts and those stories, and it takes you from that heart center, that incubation where you're always as one with this person. So energetically you feel them distancing themselves, but it's not because they don't love you. It's equal, right? You're mirrors. It's just falling into the pattern of overthinking things or thoughts, fears coming up, okay? And that's natural. That's the cycle of breaking down the false self. And that will happen. Yeah, let it go. What's happening here is the things are being triggered up. So the heart is all kind of tied up here. But this is a process. This is different cycles. You'll go through many cycles of this within your divine union. And it's helping you overall to let stuff go, let wounds go, let stories go that are painful, let go of fears of abandonment and rejection, basically, so then you can open your heart more through letting go of pain. Okay, so you may be feeling very frightened within your connection right now, because maybe it started out and it was like amazing, and it still is. It's just I'm hearing from spirit, and I don't mean this in a condescending way or critical way, but it's kind of no, I've forgotten. It's kind of not foolish, it's kind of naive to feel or believe that if the connection started off like really, really amazing, really, really powerful, it's kind of naive to think it will always be that. That is not true love. True love is like an emotional roller coaster, because it will shake you to the core. It will turn your world upside down. It will blow your mind. It will be the biggest mind fuck, but that is to break it open. Break open barriers, limitations, limiting thought beliefs, so you can expand and embrace more. Okay, so don't be feeling like something's going wrong because all this triggering's happening. That is definitely part of this process. That is definitely meant to happen within this connection. That's why it's so powerful. That's why it's so intense. You and your person, your souls agreed for all of this to happen so that you can come back into more love. Okay, so your person is feeling exposed and revealed, and look how this person's in this posture here. Okay, this is what you've both been through, but one of you may be feeling this very intensely right now, like, and maybe one of you didn't realize how intense this connection was going to be, and now shit's getting real. And yeah, it's like divine masculine, or it could be you, but divine masculine is kind of wanting to curl up in this ball behind these personal, they're having their own personal space right now, this privacy. They're needing this privacy to sort of try and cope with feeling so exposed and revealed, open, vulnerable. You know, this is the heart opening. This is the comfort zone that's been come out of, but we often feel very like, when you reveal your heart, you wear it on your sleeve, or you're very honest, because we're conditioned in this social matrix to sort of just interact on a surface level, and then we have these deep feelings, our deepest desires for love and approval and acceptance, and all of these things are kind of hidden deep within ourselves, but everyone has that. It's so natural, but it's like you may be feeling like and you've both been feeling this, okay? In order to feel and experience the deepest love, you have to undress like the layers that obstruct that, okay? The layers of self-protection. Okay, so this is a natural stage of, you know, when you both open your heart and wear your heart on your sleeve so deeply, and that's happened extremely intensely, then it's like you feel like you're cringing, you feel really exposed and kind of naked, and it creates a lot of fears, okay? You feel like you could get hurt all the more, you could be humiliated all the more. So it's natural to retreat at times when you feel that like you've come out of your comfort zone massively, and that's what's happened for both. And so it is natural to withdraw a bit, and it isn't because of a lack of love for the other person. It's because you love them so much that you care so much about what they think, and any form of rejection or thinking they could reject you, it seems all the more painful. So it's basically like the more you're opening your heart and letting go of barriers, the more you feel like your heart's at stake, kind of thing. You could get hurt more. That's what it's about. It's because the love is so deep that the fears come up stronger, but it can be misinterpreted as, oh, they've withdrawn because they don't love me, they're going off me, kind of thing. But no, it's like trying to get some time and space away from feeling so exposed and revealed. And when you feel more comfortable again in that expanded heart space, because you've opened your heart, then you can kind of slowly come back and feel more confident in this more exposed state of being. And that is how you awaken. That is how you reveal more of your true self and be more of your true self in the world, through risking being exposed and revealed, and, you know, risking possible rejection. But it never is within this connection. It's just fears on a personal level of being rejected or abandoned. Look, releasing the stories and we have sacred reverence. So divine feminine, you are really having such high regard for divine masculine and this connection, and it's truly sacred to you. And here we have storyteller again, you know, stories maybe coming up in the mind, feeling like you're abandoned, rejected, but it's partly because you are opening your hearts more on that personal level, and then it may be like the fear of the other abandoning or rejecting or judging, or it's just like that embarrassing feeling of you've exposed your heart, like you've exposed your deepest desires kind of thing. And that's just not really that common in day-to-day life. In this social matrix, we're kind of pressured or taught or conditioned to hide our deepest, innermost thoughts, feelings, desires and needs. So there's a fear, I'm hearing from spirit, there's a fear of showing neediness or appearing to be needy, but really it's not neediness, it's like the true soul's needs for love that are coming out. It doesn't mean that you're needy, it doesn't mean that you're embarrassing yourselves or anything like that. It's actually like the more you open your heart and show those needs, those true soul needs, the more it makes the other person feel comfortable to do the same. They're not going to think, oh my god, you're being needy. It's actually like making their biggest dream come true on that deep soul level, because that's what everyone truly needs. But we're just conditioned to hide that and be embarrassed about that, and be, you know, having walls up around our deepest desires on a soul level. So that is why these fears are coming up intensely, because this is such an intense connection and such an intense love. Okay, these are the sacred traveler cards. What do you need to know? Narrow pathway, tread thoughtfully. Okay, so this is like the thoughts, the fears. It makes you feel very shaky. Look how shaky this bridge looks, and it's a narrow pathway. It's the mind causes us to, because it's a pattern, right? We're taught to live our lives through our thoughts a lot of the time, and so these thoughts are just like a narrow view, narrow-minded. You can't see the broad scope of the reality of the connection when we focus too much on the mind. So if you're feeling really kind of bad, just know it's the thought patterns that are coming up and restricting you, causing you both to sort of get so focused on the mind's small kind of perspective of the infiniteness of this connection. You know, the mind cannot compute, the mind cannot understand such a profound love. Breaking trail, so a breakthrough is at hand. You're coming out of this, there's this restricted sort of, you may feel like the connection is being restricted, or this expansion of expressing emotions and being open-hearted that's been narrowed down and restricted. But you're breaking trail, a breakthrough is at hand. Okay, you've realized that your own thoughts and fears are caging you in, and it's becoming very uncomfortable. So this is definitely a powerful stage of breaking through some sort of comfort zone and expanding your emotional bandwidth to keep your heart open a bit more. It's not just going to happen like that though. I feel like there's going to still be some turbulence as you're finding your feet in this new expanded version of self, surrendering to the journey, release control. But yeah, there is going to be a softening here. There's going to be a breakthrough through surrendering, being in that flow state, and trusting the love again. I feel like the trust in the other person's love for you is going to be restored, but because for a while now there's been this shaky ground and fears coming up. It takes a while to shift gears back into the heart, okay? Because the mind believes these stories. The subconscious mind believes that whatever you're thinking is the reality, and then your emotions reflect that and your energy reflects that. So it's going to take a bit of a while to cycle through these uncertainties and this shaky kind of ground before you fully merge back into more peace and stillness and openness, okay? So be in a place of acceptance, be in a place of allowing for the difficult stages to happen, okay? View from above, get the bigger picture, okay? So a lot of awareness is coming through. If you and your person have been going through these difficulties, you're slowly going to be coming back to a place of more peace, okay? But you will go through times of peace, you'll go through times of turbulence, you'll go through times where you feel so secure in the love of the other person, and then you'll go through many times also of feeling so insecure about that. And it's all natural, okay? Don't be thinking things are going wrong. This is all natural. You know, we live on the 3D dimension where there's these seemingly polarities. So you're going to feel amazing, and then you're going to feel so fearful, and you're going to feel this energy of all over the place at times, and then you're going to feel emotionally, mentally burnt out. So you're going to need to take time and respite and going inwards, okay? This is a connection of deep intimacy. But don't feel like something's going wrong when you're both going to need times where you're in your own sanctuary, your own independence for a while before you merge back into feeling that intimacy again, okay? Because with this 8, I'm hearing a message that you're both the separate parts, okay? You're both individuals. This side of the 8 or the infinity symbol is divine masculine and the other's divine feminine, okay? And in the middle you meet, so there's this union, but you're also both individuals, and you both need like this individual relationship with the universe. So you're going to be going inwards and having these times of autonomy, but then you cycle back round to intimacy again. And this is like this is a pattern, okay? And it's going to be ever moving, ever changing. But as you go through this and you trust, because you may be feeling like the other person's pulling away, but as you realize you can trust and allow them to go to their autonomy, you can allow them to go to the distance that they need to go to have that inner time just by themselves and with God or with the universe, okay? The more you allow that, the more you will see that they will come back to you, that infinity. They will go out because they need that time alone with the universe, or going inwards to process things, to get comfortable within the connection, comfortable within themselves again. And then when they feel that, then they cycle back round. And it's the same, divine feminine, divine masculine, do that, okay? But you're always connected in the center. Okay, so High Priestess, there's times where you open the veil between what's going on in 3D and 5D. So that's like how you appear to be in the 3D with each other. And then sometimes you will open that veil, you will allow that to be exposed, your true love, your true feelings to be exposed and revealed when you feel safe. Because there always needs to be this place of safety, okay, in order to do that. And there'll be times where you open the veil and you feel safe and secure and you allow the person in. But then there will also be times when you feel like it's all getting a bit too much, so then you need to put this barrier up, and you can fear that the other person's going to take it personally, and they may do, okay? But as time goes on, you'll get used to these cycles of being open and feeling that intimacy with each other, and then at other times needing that autonomy. But over time you'll realize it's just cycles, and you'll always come back to each other. But then, you know, you always need that times of being alone with God is what I'm feeling. Okay, so I'm going to finish this reading with a Reunite Oracle card. And this is going to be a really powerful message from Spirit. What do you really need to know about your connection right now? We have you who show the way. Wow, number 33. I'm seeing 33 all the time. This is my confirmation right now. You may be seeing different number patterns, or you could be seeing 33 as well, but those number patterns are signs from Spirit that everything's okay, you're on the right path. Okay, even if you don't consciously understand what's going on at times, because that's also going to happen in your connection. It's fine to not know. That is how you learn to trust. Okay, and that's how you learn to go inwards and go into your intuition. I'm hearing from Spirit that's what Divine Masculine is doing as well. They're going inwards because they're trying to get clear. They're trying to, whether they consciously realize that or not, they're going inwards to find clarity and stability. Okay, trying to make sense of all these changes that are happening on a monumental scale on all levels. Okay, so you who show the way. The logical mind runs away from drowning. Lovers accept drowning in the sea as their destiny. The logical mind finds consolation in reaching a level of comfort in life. Lovers are focused beyond their own comfort. Okay, so this is the natural tussle between the mind and the heart. Okay, I have looked to you in my darkest moments, searched for you as though fumbling for the candle and matches during an unexpected and interminable blackout. I am the ship at sea, seeking you as my guiding light. Nay, I am the sea, rising up to the horizon because I yearn to be closer to you. Then, oh, to my greatest relief, you rise like a phoenix from the ocean, casting hallowed golden light all around you, this great blazing angel of holy fire. In a sweet instant, my soul rests in your presence. The sea becomes calm, the darkness abates, your light reveals truth, and through your living presence, I know my true self again. I am what you are. Even when it appears I am returning after being lost in darkness, it's as though I could ever be extinguished. I am divine light. I am you, a living sun. Even in your Even in your unquenchable passion for service to humanity, to the world that offers you so much, there is a time when your most powerful offering is actually and most simply that of your presence. You show the way, you who inspire through how you choose to live and be, you who sometimes think yourself to be invisible, you who consider yourself to be of no particular or exceptional worth. Yes, you who through your choice to live your truth, reveal my face, demonstrate my love, embody my presence, heal my beloveds, and love my creations. This oracle comes to you with a special message. You are an inspiration. You are helping those around you, and even many of whom you are unaware. You are doing this because this is your path, this is your way, this is your gift. To live a life dedicated to the growth of consciousness, and through that dedication inspire others to receive the loving consciousness of the great beloved that can benefit them so greatly, no matter what their situation or circumstances. You are not doing this through any effort or will. You are doing this because this is your nature, your being, your way. Just as the sun breaks through darkness with its own light, shining light with its presence by simply being, so too does your inner sun, your soul. You don't have to understand this or do anything with the information given, although you may find it of comfort or even be shocked by it, pleasantly perhaps. It is just an acknowledgement of because you are ready to receive such an acknowledgement. You are also being gifted through this oracle with a sign, a portent. This oracle is an omen, an issue too difficult for you to understand, no matter how hard you've been working on it, is about to be resolved. You have no need to hold on to it or become more worthy of that resolution. It is going to happen according to the grace of the Great Beloved, and your job is to allow it to happen, to simply bear witness to the resolution, even if you have no idea what is going on in the process. You may find that whilst you are letting go, the resolution happens without you being aware of it until after the fact. Then, apparently, all of a sudden, what was an issue is no longer so. You who help others are a worthy recipient of the help of the Great Beloved. Be prepared to surrender all plans and convictions about what can and cannot be, about what you think you know and what you think you need. Allow the benevolent grace of the Beloved to take you through the great waves as the seas become calm and serene under the living divine light. This oracle brings the message that if you have a situation in your midst that feels impossible to resolve, the divine has it covered. Do the sacred honouring ritual and let it be sorted out by a power greater than your own. It shall be sorted out, and your sun shall rise. Just as day follows night again and again, so too shall your sun rise after any issue or struggle. Have faith and hope, and know that this is a sensible approach to any dilemma, no matter how serious it may seem. For what use is it to bemoan the absence of day, even on the longest night, when you know in every moment dawn is ever closer to breaking once again? Your hope then is not foolish, but wise. So here is the sacred honouring ritual. Place your hands on your heart and say, "The Divine, who loves me unconditionally, blesses me now with such grace that my life aligns with divine order, and all becomes golden, blessed, and mercifully held in the compassionate consciousness of the Creator. I thank you for the courage and faith I have needed to endure the night, and I now celebrate the coming dawn. I see it breaking, I see its light, and I thank you for this mercy. With Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, I am now shown the way to the dawn. It is at my feet, and together we step into the gift of a new day. So be it." If you have a specific issue you would like addressed, hand it over to the Divine Beloved now by talking about it, just as if you were having a conversation with your oldest and dearest friend, for this is exactly what is taking place. Then, when you have explained your feelings, your doubts or fears, let it go and know that the situation is held in the grace of the Great Beloved. Thank you so much for joining me here. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.